I don't know what happened or why I couldn't come on, but hello. All right, I was lagging for a minute, but everything is good. I hope everyone is well tonight. We've got some cool stuff. We've got some cool guests. It is Cthulhu Invades time, so that means we're going to be invading the internet on the regular. So you'll see me more often on Thursdays. You may see me other nights. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys will join us tonight. We have some great guests. We've got some people who are in Cthulhu Invades. We also have some friends of the show, friends of me. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to promote everybody's stuff, get everybody excited about what's going on. But yeah, I see myself lagging. So hopefully you guys don't see me lagging. So if you guys can do me a favor, if you guys are watching this video, please leave a comment so I know that you're here, that I know that you're around, that I know that I can see you. If you guys are in the group, make sure you in the private chat link your thing that's live, because I know some of you guys have some stuff live. But I may be lagging. Let's see. Brian, am I lagging?
Hello.
I think I'm lagging. Am I lagging? Am I not lagging?
Slightly lagging, but you look great. Hair looks great. Everything's great.
Okay. We got Sean Wood. We got my boy, my biggest fan, Anthony. Anthony, by the way, is the biggest Orange Cone fan. He makes sure he gets everything. I own some parallels. I did find some. Got to send those out to him soon. Sean Woods is here. What's up, Sean? Sean is a great creator. Does the fog. Don't think you're lagging. I don't notice a lag. All right, so it's just me. So that's good. And we got Austin coming in just a second, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be cool. So Brian, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm awake past 9, so I'm working on comics. That's how my life works.
This is the thing. I keep keeping you up past your bedtime, and I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as I can get through the day, I'm good to stay up all night.
All right. Speaking of people who cannot stay up past 9, I'm sure Jack Holder is one of those.
I wish. I've got 2 newborns, so I'm staying up till midnight every night.
Yeah, didn't you used to be a late night, like a late night writer?
Oh my God! I was writing till like 4 a.m. every night. That's the best part about being a grad school student, because you can just sleep in till 10 and no one says anything.
Yeah, I feel you. And we've got Jerry. Jerry is not in Cthulhu, but Jerry's cool, so we're gonna keep Jerry here.
I like Cthulhu, though. Does that help? Does that count?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He has backed, he's backed or bought all of them, as far as I'm aware. So
I think I backed 2 of them, and I think you gave me Neverland.
All right.
When I saw you.
Okay. That looks like a good beverage, Jack. I don't know what that is, but that's good.
Hot cup of coffee.
There you go. I thought about it. But I went with the seltzer. So
I went with the Guinness.
That means it'll be an early night.
Braver man than me.
It's one Guinness is gonna put me out.
That's where I'm at in my life. I don't even drink a beer.
Yeah, I'm on iced tea full time.
Yeah, I can't even. I mean, Jerry and I one time shut down a Buffalo Wild Wings. When I mean shut down, we left at about 8:30 or so. It was fine.
Yeah.
But people started coming in like who wanted to watch sports, so we had to get out of there. That was very dangerous.
It was late for us.
Yeah, no more nerd talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff tonight. I'm super excited. So I want to get one thing out of the way, which is a little upsetting because not all the Cthulhu people are here. But we want to get everything on. I want to talk about it. Let me tell Austin to come on. So after this event, I'm going to have a 1-of-1 on the Kickstarter. And it's really, really cool. I want to show you guys it. It's pretty cool. I've been excited about showing this for a long time. Tonight's the night. We actually have 2 reveals tonight. We have one. And Brian, can you send me that again?
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, just send it so it's on top of my Facebook, or just say hi in Facebook so it jumps up top.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have this book. So this looks like an ordinary hardcover of Cthulhu Invades Neverland. Here, I'll make myself big. This is different. See the shine? So the shiny one has all these cool things in it. See all these cool pages? It's really nice. The non-shiny one has sketches. We've been collecting sketches from our creators who do stuff. Some writers, some real creators. There's some cool stuff in here. I mean, see, there's good art in here too. Like, but we've been doing some stuff and collecting them, and I'm going to keep collecting them until we can fulfill Cthulhu. So this will be a one-on-one, a one-of-one on the Kickstarter that you can get. We'll also have a one-of-one for fairy tales. So it'll be the same thing, but it'll be fairy tales, and we'll have it done by, we do one big signing, and we'll have everybody sketch it. So it's really, really cool. So I think it's a really cool kind of sketchbook, one-of-one thing. And like I said, I'm going to Baltimore. I'm going to all sorts of places. So we're going to fill this baby up with any creator who has had anything to do with this book. We're going to get them signed. So it's going to be on there. And I'm going to keep it pretty cheap too. I think it's going to be like $350 or something. So pretty affordable. And that'll come with, a regular version of it too. So it'll be cool. But like I said, we'll have two of them up there. I'll have a Fairy Tales one, have a Neverland one with the stuff. So what do you guys think of that?
Great.
Love it.
Love it.
As a collectible item.
I feel like that was forced. That didn't sound as excited as I was hoping, but that's fine. All right, what else I got? I've got to find this image. Brian, we talk too much. I have to scroll up.
I know. It's there like 4 times.
Right. I just have to scroll up. Scroll up. I have this touch screen too, so sometimes when you scroll up or scroll down, it bounces up to the top just for funds. Guys, this is great internet content. We have a guy who does a reality TV show. Like, this is good content, right? This is what you consider good content.
Yeah,
absolutely. We should start close up magic. Now's a good time.
the way it works is you film something like this for like 15 hours and it feels interminable, and we just make it like a 30-second, really solid 20 to 30 seconds of TV.
Riveting.
Absolutely, it's the best.
All right, let's see if this works. You guys see that?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So in a little bit, we're going to talk about Brian's Kickstarter. Brian's Kickstarter is Still Victory. And if you back it in Cthulhu, he's going to send you this print, 4x6, and it's going to be pretty cool. So if you back both books, you're going to get really cool that. Jack also has a special, too, of things that he's going to do. He's going to give an exclusive story, if I'm not mistaken, correct, if you back both?
Correct.
So, but we're going to talk about all that. So that's going to be really, really cool, and we're going to get all that done. So I've got all the Cthulhu people coming. They're all scheduled to be here at like 9:30. So Jerry, do you want to talk about what you've got going on? So Jerry's a big deal. Unlike us here, Brian and Jack. He hangs out with Scott Snyder on the regular. They just message each other, and like they flirt. Kind of. It's not flirting per se. They just like go, "Oh, your script is the best. My script is the best," and they just do that. You've known about Absolute Powers for years. You do this thing together. You want to talk about this thing you guys do together?
Yeah, sure. So I'm not, I don't get to hang out with Scott that often. I'm in Scott's writing workshop in his through his Substack, and so I publish a book called Scott Snyder Presents the Cloakroom. It's an anthology series. It's been going in some form for 3 years now. I took it over with my partner Veronica Howell almost a year ago. And this is our second issue that's online. Our third one is going to be online pretty much as soon as this one is finished, in a month from now. And it's all created by people in Scott's writing workshop. So these are all first or very early in their career. A lot of them are first time getting published. And so the stories, it's like a range of genres, and so far I functioned as the editor along with Veronica. So the people come to us with pitches. Sometimes they're really good and they're in great shape, and sometimes it's like a paragraph of an idea, and we hammer it out. We get to actually exercise our editor brain and work through it. We pair people up with these cool artists. We've had some really cool covers. The two in this one are by Pablo Verdugo, and the second one, The Red Curtains, is Matt Salisbury. Both of them are very cool. But this issue is 72 pages long. It has 6 stories. The first issue is also available. That one had 66 pages, and it was 7 stories. The next one's going to be a holiday-themed episode. Listen to me, a holiday-themed issue. But that's the thing. And so Scott, has given us his blessing, which is why we get to put his name on it. A lot of people in the class actually we submit scripts to Scott, and he'll help pitch. He'll help go through the script and give you notes on it. So a lot of the stories that are featured in the series, Scott gave notes to and helped kind of guide the stories. But that's the whole thing, basically. I think I've added 2 backers since we started talking about it.
You know it. You know how I do. You know how I bring the peoples.
I know. You should. You should set the goal before, because now I feel like I've already gotten something out of this, and I should just leave.
Oh, I'm not doing goals tonight, so how you like that?
All right, that's fair. That's fair too.
Just because you have so many Cthulhu people, it becomes unfair. But
totally.
BMD does have a question though here for you. How many stories are in it?
So this issue is 6. The stories range from 4 to 12 pages. 12 is the maximum that we do. This story has 6. This book has 6 stories. The previous issue has 7 stories. If you get both, it is 130 something pages of story.
Nice.
And then you can actually get. So the previous version of this was a much bigger. It was actually more like a Cthulhu Invades size thing, where it was 140 or 150 pages. The average page length
per story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he answered that earlier. They go from various page lengths.
Got it. Yeah. The previous iterations of this thing are available too. So there are 2. I actually have copies of them. The original one was called Tales from the Cloakroom, and it was a one-shot trade paperback. So that was the original cover. This is the same one that's available right now. That's volume 1. This is 2 years old. There's actually an Eisner-nominated short in here called The Beekeeper's Due, which was nominated for an Eisner that year. That's volume 1. This is volume 2 of the original series. Lots of cool stuff inside. Lots of different genres and different art. All of them, again, many of these blessed by the hands of Scott Snyder. And then I have, actually, hang on one second. I have issue 1 of the new one right here, right outside my office here.
He's literally going into the cloakroom to get it right now.
That's it. Dude, my office is the cloakroom. I get to leave the cloakroom to go get it. Yeah. I'm in the closet in my house. So this is the cover. This is the main cover for the first issue. It's by an artist named Siraji, and it's sort of this cool, dude on a cloakroom, sort of a cabinet. There's a little Batman hand sticking out of it, if you see that, a little homage to Scott. And then all these little characters are sort of references to the stories inside. So you've got, space characters, and I'm very proud of this book. It's very cool.
Volume 1 was great, high quality stuff, nice packaging. I remember that as well. Yeah, I have backed it.
Yeah, these are very cool stories. I'm very. They're so creative. They're it's like the first time you get to kind of sit down and write your own story, and then somebody, oh, thanks, Steve. That's my buddy Steve. Hey, buddy. Great. That's it. Volume 2. This is issue 2 of issue 2 of volume 3, if you consider it one big thing.
Well, eventually, I think you've told me you're going to put it into a trade. So yeah, it could be the start.
Yeah, our goal is eventually we'll break it up. We haven't done stores yet, so I think what I'd love to do is try to put it in stores once we have enough issues lined up that we could reasonably tell a distributor that we're around for 6 or 12 months worth of issues, and then we'll repackage it put it in stores and then trades. Keep it alive. Keep these. That's it. That's my thing. That's my jam.
Nice. So you have got a couple of backers here. We're going to keep talking about it throughout the day, throughout the night. Oh, what, Daniel? I need to submit to Cthulhu eventually. I keep missing the call. Yeah, I'm in the group too. I always feel like there's a secret meeting that happened in Scott Snyder class. I'm like, oh, when's the class? So like, did you watch the video? Yeah, you were in the class. I was like, but I don't feel like I'm in the class. Like people are having meetings with Scott. Like I don't pay enough attention, even though I pay for the service to know the extra stuff.
Yeah. For anyone who actually is in the class and wants to submit now, because we're not doing it once annually, it's a rolling submission. So just reach out to me on any of the places you can find me easily online, and I'll send you the instructions for how to do it. But anybody who's part of Scott's Substack is welcome to pitch.
Nice. And then we've got Austin in the house. How are you, Austin?
Hey. Thanks, guys, for having me. It's good to see you. I was listening behind the curtain here. And
yeah. You said you're having problems, I think, trying to get the link to work, but everything's good.
We're having electronic issues, whether it's the Wi-Fi or the AC. Right now, the AC downstairs is off. I don't know what's going on. I think the storm and the all the water and everything is affecting us a lot more. We're in South Tampa, right by the Air Force Base. We got pretty wet. Yeah. So that's where we're at. But we're here. It's good to be here.
Well, you know what? Since next up, let's talk about some other people's stuff real quick, and then we'll get to yours. Brian, let's talk about your book, this crossover print, all that stuff. What do you got for us, Brian?
My book is called Steel Victory. It is a mashup of kaiju, Power Rangers, Sentai, and detective noir fiction.
Wow.
Yeah, it sort of came to me in a dream. I just had this idea of, giant robot rusting in San Francisco Harbor, and I just kind of spun a story out from that image. My main character was the ex-Red champion, and he starts investigating the ex-Blue champion for a heinous crime that is committed.
Wow.
And it sort of spins back to their past. They sort of rehash, maybe their time as the champions weren't exactly on the up and up. Maybe there was something darker behind it all. And it's a 3-issue series. My first issue is, done and ready to go, and I'm just trying to find its audience right now.
Nice. So last time you were on, you were at 25. So you've got some backers the last couple of days, which is great. So you're moving right up. We'll get that. We'll want to get that shared out, get people to know about it and stuff. Oh, fuck it. Jerry's here. I am going to do the yelling at people. I changed my mind. I'm going to yell at people. You're welcome, Jerry. You're welcome. Where's my
favorite part of every show?
Where's my notebook? I don't think Brian's seen me yell at people. He was on the other night. He hasn't seen me yell at people. I'll yell at people tonight.
Ryan, it gets dark.
It gets dark. We'll yell at people.
Well, I appreciate it because I don't have that in my nature. So Travis, please be my avatar.
Yeah. No, I got it. I get it. And by the way, again, before I yell at people, I always recommend not to do this at home. This works for me. I have seen other people ruin their reputation and lose friends and followers. So you don't want to do that. So let's get, we got the cloakroom. I'm not going to bring it up, but it is at 3,093 with 100 backers. We are going to try to get you to 101 and 3,100.
I love it.
Try to do. We got Steel Victory here. I'm drawing big here. Steel Victory is live right here. You were at 31 backers, $821. We're going to try to get you to $841 with 32 backers. Let's see if we can get you there. All right. Stuff's written down. And next up. So I do have one request. If this is a series of 3 issues, can you have one of these not Power Rangers, like not want to wear the colors that they were? Like they hate. They were Green Ranger, and they're like, no.
I could. Let me go back and re-edit.
That's what we need.
Yeah, it's weird how tangential that sort of Power Ranger stuff is to the actual story. It's like a embarrassing memory for them in a way. So it's very small in the story, but it figures in sort of the history of it.
Okay. I like that. Austin, I need your link. Can you send it in the private chat?
I can.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. I found it.
Oh, okay.
I backed it. I got it. I'll just pull
Yes.
from my back. And we got, let's do Jack next. Jack, your book is broken. I looked at it. So I don't see as many of the pictures as the other books. Is it broken? What happened to it? Like, it seems to be broken.
I wrote it, and it seems to be all words. It's
what? How does that even work?
After working with so many years in comics, I just kept putting down words, and then, I just put out the words. And people seem to like that.
They like your words?
They like my words.
You see, Jack, I am not as talented as you. I have to rely on hiring people who look good, so my words look better. So it's a bold statement saying that these words are working. See, look, Daniel agrees. All words? What is this sorcery?
Exactly.
We're very confused by this words thing. So what are these words about, Jack?
These words are about God Street.
Okay.
It is this mystical road just outside our world where every god that you could ever imagine calls home. We're talking Zeus, Odin, Thoth, Goibnu. Every mythology could be found here. And the poor guy, Will Creed, who is destined to kill them all and destroy the street. He's been off of God Street for over a decade, but due to being completely homeless, when someone comes up to him and says, "I'll pay you 600 grand, find my son who's trying to steal the Book of Lost Souls," he says, "Sure, whatever. Oh, by the way, this book is rumored to rewrite destiny or break reality if you're stupid when you write in it." He decides, hey, maybe it's also a good idea for me to stop him from doing this. So Will Creed's plan is get back to God Street, find the Concordance of Lost Souls, steal it, get back off the street before every god in existence discovers he's there and decides to wreak vengeance on him. What could possibly go wrong?
Now, is this a new series? Because I know you have a few different series like here that are connected, or is it?
Yes, this is a brand new series, brand new universe. This is book 1 of a 5-book series that is completed, and we are pretty much paying for the print run and helping. The more stretch goals we get, the more books we're going to be giving to people and setting up the editing for the next parts of the series.
My other question is this gentleman Creed, does he know that his last name just means evil, from Victor Creed to the boxer Creed, Creed Crusher? Like Creed is just like, you gave him a bad rap,
I gave him a bad rap. He gave himself a bad rap. Creed is not. The worst part about it is Creed is a name he chose for himself. He was not born with this. He decided to go to Earth. He had never visited Earth before, and he decided, what I want? I'm in the early 2000s. I'm going to call myself Creed.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong with this?
Yeah.
Nice. We got Silas here as well.
Hey guys,
What's up, man?
how's it going?
So, all right. So I'm going to add you to the list. We're going to try to get you a backer. But you've got those words. Again, words are hard. I don't understand how words work, but I'll put God Street on here and we'll see what we can do.
Hey, you already got me a backer, and if I get 12 more bucks, then everyone's gonna get a free book.
Sweet.
Well, we'll try to get you. We'll try to get you to there. We'll try to get you to 1,000. So we'll try to do that. We'll try to get you one more backer. Let's see what we can do. All right. Let me add that to my list. Next up, we have my boy Austin. How are you?
I'm blessed, my man. I'm doing really good. It's been a crazy year so far.
I feel that, you always get it's so funny because I live on the place that used to get hit by the storms, but it looks like now your side's getting hit. It used to be the East Coast and now the West Coast. So I mean, it doesn't bother me that much because it doesn't hit me, but it seems to really stress out you people in the Tampa area.
Yeah. We we enjoy the fact that storms normally pass us. This one was weird because it just kind of hugged. It was big and hugged. It just drenched and stayed and everything like that. So we've just been getting a lot of rain the past couple of years. We are tropical after all, so I guess it's our turn.
So you have a new book out, and it looks super fun. I think this is probably my favorite art of any of the books that I've seen you make. Well, you had Staniak. I guess I can't say that. Nobody can say that. But I mean, this is great looking art. You're very close to funding. So tell us about A Killer in the Dead.
So The Killer in the Dead started as a short proof of concept film where it's a slasher film like Halloween or Friday the 13th in a world experiencing a zombie apocalyptic event like, Dawn of the Dead and 28 Days Later. That's the basic concept. I wanted to mash up between two of the most popular horror genres and horror itself. But we shot this in 2022, so COVID limited what I could do with my story to begin with. And so we did what we could do, and we put it through festivals, and we won some awards. We've had some good backing. Like, I have no YouTube footprint. I have 6 followers, but we had over 17,000 views in 2 months on the trailer, which was just mind-boggling to me.
That's right.
So once it's kind of done and the movie is we're going to be able to show it to people, I thought, let's do the story right. Let's get a comic book out as a one-shot to help launch the feature that we're hoping to try to get on the next year or so. And that's kind of where we're at. Adner Messier is the artist on it, and I've known him for about 10 years. And we've always wanted to try to work together, and he was open for this. Right now he's working on Predator for Marvel, and he just finished Craven the Hunter for Marvel 2. So that's his line art. I met the colorist, Marcus Rocha. He's actually lives in the same country and knows Eder, so they're friends, so that helps. Nikki Powers is my letterer. She lettered everything from Stanley the Stoneman with Scout through Zombies Were Human 2, and now she's doing this. And so here we are. We're trying to get the book out. So it flushes up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you guys are watching this and you know me, Austin is a great creator. He does some amazing stuff. He bounced around between several different creative fields. He's also in film. He's doing comics. He does all sorts of stuff. So take my word for it when I say that I can back that you're going to get your experience. And he loves zombies. He knows zombies. That's his thing. So if you're interested in those things, he's gonna get you what you need to go. So just Austin and I've known each other for many, many years.
Yeah, I've been lucky for that. So our rewards, we have kind of stuff for comic books where you can get the book themselves, metal prints, metallized covers. For the film itself, you can actually get the film. You can download the film. You can get your name in the end credits for the film itself. You can actually be drawn in the comic book. I tried that with zombies. It was a big success. And so we're kind of offering that for this one. We are offering some movie stuff like the Killer Mask, replicas of the mask itself. And for those that want to actually be part of the film and want to be a producer, hey, we just threw those in just in case.
Nice. So. One thing that I see that's missing here And maybe just you can't do. Do you guys have the film script option on here?
Yeah, it's in the add-ons.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Nice. I love me a good film script.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, that's
How
it.
long is the comic?
What was the question?
How long is the comic?
So the comic is 28 pages long. Yeah, so the film, so we have the feature written out. For now we do. We had it roughed out, and the movie itself is 10 minutes. It's kind of like the snippet. It kind of gets you towards like the ending of the zombie thing or the slasher at the beginning of the zombie. And we wanted to expand a little bit, kind of give you a little bit more before and a little bit of the after in the comic book itself. Kind of give you an idea of what the world itself is all about. That's kind of what the comic is. We got great cover artists. Besides Stan Yak, we got Francesco Tominelli. He's done a lot of covers for Marvel. Stefani Renee's done a lot of cool covers for DC. And we've got Stefano that did a really cool print you can kind of get. And, so yeah, we got some good stuff. We got good stretch goals. So I'm celebrating my first co-star role in a major TV series, Bad Monkey, which started next week. And so if you get 5,000, you get a signed Bad Monkey promo card by me.
Nice.
So there's that.
Yeah, and I saw you made the trailer, so congratulations. So
thank you, man. Yeah, thank you. It's it took a couple years to kind of come out, and then I got some cool stuff coming up this year that will be out in 2025, which is pretty insane. So
that's awesome. Well, I got you on the list.
I appreciate you backing it too, Travis.
Yeah, no problem. We got 3,316 with 66 backers. We're going to try to get you to 67 backers. 3,336. If we can get you to 69, which is just a funny number, I'll throw in something extra. So if you can get him to 69 tonight, we'll throw in a little extra. So
that'd be awesome.
I hope it's not something extra that's on theme for 69.
It is 100% because I'm known for my sexy time comics. So Silas is new. Silas, can you do me a favor in the private chat and send me your link to your book?
Yes, I can.
And before we get to Silas, I'm going to say, welcome, Tom. How are you? You must be very confused because I put 9:30 in our schedule, but then when I posted on Facebook, I said 9. So I just wung it and started at 9.
I'm here. That's the important thing. I'm just glad to be here, man.
You're here. It's got to be fun. We're going to talk about some cool things. We're going to do a whole bunch of Cthulhu stuff in just a little bit. We're going to talk about Silas. So Silas.
Yes, sir.
I know you've been messaging me today. I have been really busy. I was in a script zone and I can't take care of messages and doing some stuff. So you don't qualify for this show, which I know is going to freak you out because I sent you the link. Let me tell you what the qualification is. So we have one qualification. I think you can handle it. Okay. So to qualify for this show, you have to have backed more books than you've put out. So you've created one and you've backed one. So if you can promise within the next couple of days to back one book for any amount, you qualify. All right. That's it. I have one rule. I've only been fought on it one time. One guy lost his mind and I was just like,
that seems like a weird hill for him to die on, but you know,
right? Throw $1. I didn't even say an amount. I don't care. It doesn't have to be my book. I don't even care what it is.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about your book. So you were new to Kickstarter, from what I understand, and trying to get some buzz about this new book. You come highly recommended by a good friend of mine.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, Gerald's been cool, man. Yeah, he and I had a good talk today, and he's a good dude.
Nice. I like it. I'm sure he told you about this show and what we do. But tell us about this hyper-violent noir comic.
Yeah, so I started as I'm also a filmmaker. So I started as I make action films, and so I was we just kind of everything in the film industry kind of fell apart for a little bit there, and indie stuff is increasingly hard to make. So I threw together this idea of this aging hitman who is betrayed by his team at the CIA and left for dead in Mexico. And, he has to go on a trail of vengeance and leaving bodies from Juarez to New York. In the about on Kickstarter, it says it's kind of Man on Fire meets the pulp novels of the 60s and 70s. So I reached out to an artist buddy of mine, Way, who does a lot of fan art on Instagram, and he's got a pretty big following, and so he brought me our penciler Caesar, and he did some phenomenal work. I mean, right away they both were like, they understood the bloodiness and the all that stuff, and so it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to create. It's been a lot of fun to write. That very Ed Brubaker is one of my biggest influences, and that pulpy, visceral, violence that is more action than horror, but you've got that just kind of gross amount of blood, which I love. And so, so it's been fun. We've I've hit some snags with Kickstarter, but it's been I've met a lot of great people through it, and I think it's been cool to see that community kind of come through. And yeah.
Nice. All right, so let me get this shared out. Oh, and we got Charlie here. Charlie, oh snap! I should have joined you, Amazing Turns. Charlie, you are more than welcome to join us, Amazing Turns. If you would like to send me a message, I will get you in on here. I know you have a Kickstarter live. I'd love to have you. All right, so let's get this link out so people can back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, Silas, when did you leave Tucson, man?
Almost immediately after I was born.
Probably smart.
I was adopted, so I've been in California my whole life, but I have family out in Tucson, and yeah.
Awesome.
Are you in Arizona?
Scottsdale my entire life until 2 years ago.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to give you credit for, Silas, is I'm a former filmmaker as well.
Okay.
Recovering. When I say filmmaker, that means I paid for a degree. I mean, they keep sending me the messages that I owe, but I don't know what that means, so I just ignore them. And since I own my own business, it's really hard to garnish my wages.
Also fair.
But what I love about this is here, I'm going to make myself big for a minute. And I saw Pat Chan comment. I don't know why it didn't appear, but Pat, yes, here we are. What I love, we have, so in the comics indie scene, we have so many filmmakers. In fact, Jerry's a filmmaker, Austin's a filmmaker. I don't know. Brian and Jack probably make films. Tom is in an undisclosed location writing the Olympics right now, so we all do something. Tom,
I was a theater major, so close enough.
The theater major. A lot of them come and they want to make a quick buck in comics.
Yeah.
How I know you're not that guy is Criminal. Anybody can mention Criminal. Punisher Max. Anybody can mention that. Kill or Be Killed. But when you get to Parker in 100 Bullets, this shit has read some crime comics in the crime scene. Crime is my favorite. So
literally right here. Oh yeah,
that's your Bible.
Honestly.
So as you guys, again, for people who watch us who are fans of me, you guys know I love comics and love it. And this guy's legit because you just wouldn't mention those books. Because only the people who've been reading them since the 90s and 2000s will know that.
Yeah.
Will know those really good books.
I'm glad that my knowledge of comics has helped give me some authenticity.
Yeah, well, I think it's important because I think
absolutely.
I don't know if we can read it. Edward Davis is here. I think it's important, and I don't think it's, again, I think comics are for everybody, so I don't care who comes from film or anything. I don't say that as a judgment. I just think a lot of people go, I'm going to make this book so I can pitch it. But Jerry's a producer, so I can pitch it to Jerry, and then Jerry's going to make my dreams come true. Jerry and I had a meeting. He is my executive producer, so if you just want to look at my properties, talked about all of them. So they are all optioned by Jerry. That's canon because I just said it, so it's fine.
If I had the power to make dreams like that come true, I think more of my own dreams would have come true by now.
Fair. I had a conversation with somebody who a while back asked me like if I was interested in producing a feature, like putting in money, and I was like, dude, if I had $200,000 to give you, I wouldn't be giving it to you.
Right.
Yeah, go find a dentist. Like that's how you do it.
Yeah, go find some tech guys in Silicon Valley, and that's
Right.
fine. But,
They want someone who wants a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys, since you're all creators, I'm just curious if you ran into a younger creator, someone just getting started, and they had that thing where, well, I want to make movies, but I also want to make comics, and they had to choose one at least temporarily. Where would you point them? What do you think you tell them to do, or how to approach it?
I mean, I had a similar thing years ago. So I'm a TV producer, but I do unscripted TV. And I got into TV because I wanted to make scripted television. That was my geek thing growing up. And so 16 years ago, I was spending half of my time as a location manager on film and TV sets in New York, and half of my time as a reality TV producer and director in LA. And I would bounce back and forth between the two. And I needed to make a decision. And my film stuff was less creative because I was a location manager. And so I think I would by now probably have been able to make the right connections, worked my way into a more creative role and done that. So sometimes I regret what I did, but I've been able to be creative in what I do for the last 15 years because of it. Nope. So I think it's like, picture yourself when you're 44 and you have 3 kids and you're married. Would you rather be supporting yourself doing, which of those 2 things would you rather be supporting the family doing? Would you rather be doing comics? Because in 15 years, you'll know if you're going to make it or not. And you do the same thing in TV. You'll know if you're going to make it or not. So that's what I would say. Imagine yourself 15 years from now, looking back on this moment, which thing would you rather have been doing for the last 15 years? That's the thing you should do. Yeah. I don't think there's like a set answer that everyone should go into comics or everyone should go into TV.
Yeah. Austin does both.
Austin, what do you got?
So when I was in high school, I was voted most theatrical. Like I did theater and everything like that, but I love comic books. This was the 80s, and I lived in upstate New York, and I wasn't going to do theater. I was a heavy metal looking kid. I had long hair like Bon Jovi, and I got into and met my favorite comic book people. I wanted to make films, but I thought this is the next best thing with comic books. So I did it it's been 30 years. I never thought I'd get into film, especially as an actor. And then my friends were making movies. And I was like, hey, you want to be cool? Hey, you want to be, I'm like, I'll do whatever you want me to do. How is this possible? And I just retired from my backup plan. My backup plan, Tom, was graphics at the time. It was called commercial art. And then when the computers came out, I got into that. So I did newspaper for 4 years. And when I moved to Florida, I was an artist for Lockheed Martin, artist for Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, and I was an art director for Verizon. I was a creative director for about 10 years. And then I decided to retire, and I was going to teach. I was going to go to SCAD, and then film opened my eyes. And luckily, things are, as an actor, are kind of happening, but I love the fact that I'm able to do independent sort of films. Mm-hmm. But to answer Jerry, to bounce off Jerry, understanding the relationships and how to go about meeting people and cultivating long-term is something you learn later on in life. Whereas when you're younger, you're so eager, you can come off as pushy or needy. That kind of what happened with me. I was so worried about trying to make it in said field that I let opportunities go by the wayside. But I will say it's easier to start being creative in comic books, especially with all the technology that's going on now. We had Xerox machines was like the magical thing back in the early 90s for us, making a Xerox copy of your drawing was like innovative, black and white 8.5 by 11, not like what you have now. So what I've told young people is you can do both. It's cheaper to do comic books than to try to make film and try to do that sort of thing. However, while you're making your stories, find out what these people that you're selling to and interacting with, or if they'd be interested in branching out to different mediums. because you never know who you're going to kind of meet. Like Jerry, I had no idea that you were in the film and producing stuff like that. I didn't realize. So you don't know. Every day you're going to meet interesting and new people, have experiences, and you just kind of talk and see whatever.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? I think I ran. It's hot in here, man. It's like 80 degrees.
You got all those lights. You got all those lights in the background.
Yeah, I know. This is my audition area. So,
anybody else have any?
Can I come at this from a different way, a different angle?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
hold on. Is it going to
starting?
Hold on, Brian. Is it going to derail? Because I actually have an answer to the question. Is it going to derail too much?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right,
not at all. But
sorry.
I think that being creative is do the thing where your hard work will make it happen, right? It's how much you put into it. There's your product. So I got into comics because I tried to stand up plays. I tried to write plays and have them exist in the world. And it was so hard for me to find people to give me money to do those things. It was very hard to break into theater, and I had all the right connections. I went to the right school and I did everything right. And I was a playwright, and I'd been to like great playwright festivals and done all this stuff, and it was still really hard. I found comics I could just draw and then just do it. Nobody told me no. There were no gatekeepers to create that. So if that's where you are, if that's what you want to do is just make a comic, just sit down and make a comic, and then you'll see there's no one telling you no.
Yeah. I have a similar. We just, a couple of years ago, we shot a film I wrote and directed called Collector. That back in April, we just won Best Action Short of the Year in LA. But even with that, like, people aren't interested in, coming through and financing or even taking, it's even just difficult to get pitch meetings, right? So, and sort of what Brian just said, I think it's the comics allow me to be so much more creative for much longer periods of time, right? Whereas like if I'm going to try to make a film, without, the backing of 6 investors, I have to go, only 30% of that is actually creative, right? The rest is troubleshooting. The rest is problem solving. And I'm not saying there's a lot of troubleshooting and problem solving with comics and, especially with Kickstarter, obviously, but like there's so much more room to just create and just write what you're going to write, draw what you're going to draw, and I think it just depends on what, what capacity you have and where you kind of want to go. But that's my 2 cents, is that I think that comics have just allowed me to be way more creative.
Nice. All right. Does anybody else have any statement? I'm going to make the final statement if everybody's done. All right. So for me, I actually just found this in a journal the other day because I came to film school. I literally went to film school because I wanted to do comics, and I forgot about it. Like, I forgot that was I just didn't know how to get into comics. I had no idea. There was no way to do it when because I'm older. So I wanted to, I followed the Kevin Smith route. I was like, it's way easier to get a film made because Kevin Smith taught me that, and then comics seemed really easy to me once you had it in, because I come from Dover, New Hampshire. So Dover, New Hampshire is where, I'm from Rochester, which suburb. It's funny. I always say Dover, and I'm from Rochester. Like I'm too proud, like because of the football teams, I guess. But anyways, Dover is where the Ninja Turtles are from. So that's where Kevin Eastman and Law were made. So where the Ninja Turtles were first born, Malibu Studios was there. Not Malibu Studios, Mirage Studios. But to answer your question, if someone came up to me with those questions, I love comics and I love film, and they were young and they came to me, the answer for that for me, Tom, I would tell them to do film, do it while you're young and you have friends around that can help you make that dream happen, because it gets harder as we get older. And I'm taking away all the practicality stuff that we say that comics are better, they're more fulfilling, but all those are 100% true. But I remember there's only a certain amount of time where you have your friends who can take a weekend off over and over again, right, to help you make that dream. And in 2024, your phones can do the stuff. You don't have to rent a camera like I did. You don't have to do any of that stuff that I had to pull off. You can make a film. It's going to be great. Probably not. You know, are you going to probably have to do half-fit in AI because AI is going to kill us all? Probably, but you know, you got a couple years before that takes over. So get it out before that. But yeah, that would be my 2 cents worth. But great, Tom. I know you think you derailed, but that's actually I think that was a good question. All right, we're gonna get the other 2 books up. Then we're gonna make it Cthulhu Night for a little bit, and then we'll go back and see how everybody's doing. And see if I gotta yell at everybody.
Travis.
Yeah,
I'd love to stay on. I've got.
You got your money. You got to run. I understand.
No.
All
right. I found out I just got a call back for a TV series, and so I need to start prepping lines because it's at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Nice.
Well, I got you your
Congrats.
promise, so I got you off the list. So bye.
Thank you. And guys, you guys are amazing. And I got all the links already. I got them down, and I've already backed Silas, so I'm going to check everyone else out.
Thank you, man.
So, all right.
All right. We marked Austin off. Bye, Austin. Have a good one.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
All right. He is almost funded too. Or no, let me see if he's funded. Yeah, he is like $125 from funded.
Oh.
He's very close. He'll do it soon. He's got a few more days too. I think he's got 21 more days. He's
okay.
All right. Next up is Tom. Tom.
Hey.
Yours is also much like Jack's. It's broken. So I looked at your link the other day, and it seems to be broken. It has a lot of words, but there's not a lot of those picture things.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that part's broken. I'm sorry. I'm still working on that.
So what happened to your comic book? Is it broken?
Nothing has happened to my comic books. I got a couple in the hopper. My last attempt did not go so well. So I kind of need to go back to my roots, which was in long form prose, writing novels and whatnot. So that's what I brought back to just kind of knock the rust off a little bit. And then once we get through this one, I think I'll be bringing my comics back up again. But yeah, that is what happened. Although this is like a comic book in novel form. So it lacks the really awesome pictures and art. And there are a lot of words, I'm afraid. But outside of that, it's a comic book in prose for sure.
Nice. And tell the concept, because you told us the concept the other night. Sounds really good. So make sure.
Yeah. So it's like a dark Marvel kind of setting. Very much like you can see there, like more Logan than X-Men. Dark, gritty, noir is kind of what I was going for, about a very human ex-cop, who is tasked off the books with hunting down beings with superhuman powers, so mutants and whatnot. And that doesn't go really well when he discovers that he's been being played this whole time by the government, and he takes on the mantle, the heroic mantle of somebody he's just knocked off. And discovers there's a lot more going on under the city streets than he had ever dreamed possible. And so this is hopefully book one in a series about his adventures and misadventures and fighting mutants and mutant fights on city streets and stuff like that. So it's like a 4-color, maybe not 4-color, I take that back. But it's got all the action scenes, the set pieces that you would hope for in a superhero comic, with a lot of focus on the character and the grit and the grime and all that kind of fun stuff.
Nice. That's nice. All right. Before I forget, Daniel, I do see your post, but for some reason the Facebook posts aren't coming through. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I want to know why Champions is inspired, though. Like that's what I need to know, because you said a lot of things and Champions didn't fit.
Dude, okay. Do you know Champions?
I do. Of course, I know Champions. I'm a role player geek.
People don't know Champions.
What?
They're all focused on their D&D and stuff. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Champions, also known as the Hero System, was a role-playing game system that was developed, I want to say 82, 83 originally, something like that. And I came on board right before the 4th edition, which is what you're seeing there. Before 4th edition came out, tabletop RPG designed by guys who like comic books. So you're going out there and playing a comic book character and getting, like you would any other D&D type adventure. And we played that game. We played Champions for, let's see, I'm turning 50, so like 3 decades, I think, just nonstop. And so the adventures, I don't talk about it a lot because I get concerned about. I feel like there's that stigma with D&D players who then assume that their adventure will make a good story on print. It could. Like, yes, it's possible. How frequently is it possible is another story. So I don't emphasize that a lot. But yes, we played these super heroic, very dark characters as teenagers, and then into young adulthood, and not too long ago, actually, we're still playing, and that's just a huge inspiration. I owe a lot to that game system for sure.
Nice. That's really awesome. You should do you know Charlie McKelvey? He does Spider Squirrel.
Not personally, but I know his name.
You should, because he wrote his book. Actually, I have it right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
These look familiar?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, all of his books have Champions sheets in them.
Get the hell out! Wait, what is that again? Or can you?
Spider Squirrel.
I can't see it.
I'll make it big. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I can't see Jack.
Yeah, you're good.
Spider
Squirrel.
Oh, of course. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you should become his friend. He makes supplements for Champions. You guys will love each other.
Awesome. Oh, what a gig.
So I wrote your stuff down, and what we're gonna do is you were at 663 with 17 backers. We're gonna try to get you a backer tonight to get you to 683. That's our goal.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right. So I shared that, guys, in the link. If you guys could back it, share it. I know it has just words, but Tom, if you guys didn't know, I like to brag because Tom is my famous friend. Tom used to write Spawn. Remember when Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane were on it? He was the other guy that they didn't talk about because Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane were doing it. But he was writing the words. Tom was selling baseballs or whatever Tom does, and Eric was just doing cool art. Or no, Eric was writing at the time, right? When you did it, or was Eric drawing?
Eric was right. Yeah, he was writing. We had oh shit, what's his name? Shimon. Was doing the art. Fucking awesome art. Yeah.
Because he did art right after that run, I think, right? Didn't he switch like Tom?
So. Yeah, that sounds right.
But speaking of Spawn and Spawn-related merchandise, let's talk about the Corruptor. That's about demons and shit, right, Ed?
It is.
Sorry about the buzzing. They always start my dryer when I am doing the show on Thursday nights. I don't know why.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I usually get the doorbell ringing through my office, so same thing. Someone with a FedEx box or something. But Corruptor, speaking of demons and shit, is about a hitman who gets killed in his last job. And after his death, he's given a choice. Either spend an eternity suffering in hell or go back up to the surface and corrupt souls for the devil. So right now, this story takes place before my main story, Immortal Era, and the basic thought for both sides is that they know immortality is about to come into the world. And there are a specific amount of people that they know are going to die before the Immortal Era begins. So heaven and hell are racing, doing everything they can to bring in as many souls as they can for no other reason than bragging rights. So as they're trying to get the souls, Tony Scamparza, the mafia hitman, also starts becoming recruited by heaven because they have a purpose that they want to use him for. And actually, it's right there in the sneak preview. We see, why does heaven want him? Obviously, they don't want him to redeem souls because he's an irredeemable character himself. And they want him to bring in his powers to kill other corruptors. So they want to use him to kill other corruptors so that heaven can get the edge in the end.
Nice, that's nice. So this is the second one in the series.
Second one.
So
It's going to be
just
4
funded.
issues altogether. And it has lots of, this one has some smaller connections to Immortal Era, and then by issues 3 and 4, we'll see a few huge questions from Immortal Era get answered in this series.
Nice. But you said another thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't need Immortal Era at all. You could never read Immortal Era, and you'd be fine. It's not gonna affect it.
It's not going to do it. Just the fun little Easter eggs are more of the things where it's just one panel that Immortal Era readers will go like, oh crap, that's how that happened. But if you're just reading it, it's just one panel, and you're going to go right by it and go, okay, well, that particular character is up to no good again. So we'll just see the characters kind of intersecting with characters from the earlier part of Immortal Era, where we have several flashback issues that explain how immortality even came into that world. Those characters we'll see kind of throughout the Corruptor series, but you can read Immortal Era and not read Corruptor, and you're not going to miss anything besides the fun little Easter eggs. And then what I found is when I'm working at cons, the people that want Corruptor generally have no interest in Immortal Era. So I don't want to tell them, well, no, you have to read Immortal Era if you want to actually understand this. I said, no, you'll just miss the Easter eggs, but they won't matter to you because they're still driving the plot forward.
Nice. Okay. Well, as you know, I'm a big backer of Immortal Era. I have all the issues. I have all the issues of Corruptor as well, because there's only been one so far. So, and I'll get this one as well, I'm sure. But let's put you down on the list here. You're at 2,112 with 62 backers. We'll try to get you a backer tonight.
There goes one right now. Actually, it looks like 2 just jumped in. So
look at that. Look at that. So we'll get you there. We'll get you where you need to go. I'll mark you off my list a little later. But yeah.
So just funded last night, but it funded with a huge pledge. So you have that feeling of nervousness, because when someone comes in and takes you to your goal, backing a $200 tier, if they back out, everything goes back below the mark. So I haven't even hit Facebook and like, let's celebrate. Cause I'm like, ooh, I don't feel any level of comfort knowing that one pledge can shrink me back under. So I haven't done the happy dance yet.
Totally. I understand that. But it's time to talk about the big thing. So I'm going to move these boxes around. We're going to move. Yeah, we're going to move. What's going on?
I like this. I'm alone on my own row. I like that. It makes me feel like I'm the focus, even though I know I'm not anymore. It's nice.
So,
Harry stands alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, for people who normally follow the Creator Hangout, this is it, right? I'll promote a little book, and then we'll be done. Unfortunately, it is that one time of year where I don't have a little book. It's a big motherfucking book. All right. It's the biggest book that I do every single year. It is the big one. And we have Brian Wolf who's in it. We have Jack Holder in it. We have Tom in it. We have Ed in it. We do not have Salas or Jerry in it, but maybe one day. Well, Jerry already said he could come on one. Salas, we'll have to see. I do like he likes 100 bullets, so he's already got me there. But the big boy is live. Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with our 4th volume. We have 20 creative teams coming together to get this big book. We still have quite a bit to go. We're a little over 50% funded. But yeah, this is a big one. And we have all the big characters in here. We have Red Riding Hood. We have Cinderella. We have Snow White. We have Rumpelstiltskin. We have Goldilocks. And some of the best covers in the world. Look at that. Carmeline does that. If you don't know Carmeline, he's done Buffy, created the character called Frey, did Route 66 or 666 for cross-gen for us old folks. Did Superboy, Avengers Arena, some good stuff there. We have this amazing Virgin cover that has Cthulhu popping out of a mirror with all the 20 stories on there. Peter's so mad at me that he had to draw that. And then, holy shit. Have you guys seen
that? I love it.
Love it.
So good. So
That's
good. So we only got Riding Hood in here. We've got a little Easter egg of an apple and the broken silver glass slipper. So lots of good stuff. Lots of good art here. So we've got a whole bunch of cool things. So what I'm going to do is go around to each of you guys and just so you can tell everyone about your story in this book. So let's start with, let's go to my thing. Let's start with you, Brian. What are you doing in here? Brian?
Yeah. I got the story called The Owl, which is a story I was unaware of from Grimm's Fairy Tales. But Chuck Satterley wrote the script, and I got to read up on it before I drew it. It's an escalating tale of an owl in a barn and how a whole village gets more and more freaked out by it. Of course, in this story, it's not an owl. You could probably guess what's in the barn. It was a lot of fun to draw. Sort of a medieval German tale, and I had a lot of fun drawing the big guy at the end.
And you can't guess it because of the color. You can't guess it.
I did. I made it purple, which I guess was wrong. I love it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. And who's next in my line? I think it's probably Jack.
Yep.
Yeah.
And and I got to do Cinderella, the tale that everyone thinks they know. My tale is called The Glass Talon. It's Cinderella is missing from the ball exactly according to the evil stepmother's machinations, and then somehow that wretched stepdaughter actually shows up in such an alluring state. But as the tale goes on, the evil stepmother starts to realize that Cinderella may have paid a very steep price to get to go to the ball. Really excited about this because the inks are by Amanda Dufresne, who has never actually done sequential art before, but she's worked with Image and Aftershock Comics. So I absolutely loved being able to just work on this with such an amazing team.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, look at that costume. It's beautiful. So yeah, it's really good. All right, next we'll get Ed. Ed, tell us what you did.
What did you do?
Ed, are you there?
Tell us what you did.
We know what you did last summer, Ed.
He was just there a second.
Ed must be frozen.
I don't see his head.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh no! You killed Ed. You bastards! Let me see if he messages me. People are chatting me up. Okay. All right. Well, I guess since Ed's gone, Tom, tell me what you did. Tell us about all these naked ladies.
Oh, come on. Well, okay.
There's only one naked lady, but she's pretty.
Right. So I got to do the very ugly duckling, and we instead did the ugly elfling, this lovely female elf character you see here, with some awesome art by Peter Taylor and colors by Carla Aguilar.
I got to add all that like I promised.
What's that?
I got to add all those like I promised. I will.
Please do. Because they did the hard. I mean, they did the heavy lifting here. This is beautiful work that they did. But one of the things I love about the format and that these are a collection of shorts is that for me, coming from long form fiction, is usually long form horror and fantasy and things like that are tend to be more hopeful, or the good guys are going to win. Whereas short form, like Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, stuff like that, short stories, you can kind of do that, pull the rug a little bit, or maybe not have the happiest ending. And so I went all out with that. And the ugly duckling, this poor elf who gets teased relentlessly, everybody who teases her, there's probably some comeuppance, but not just that. There's another little beat there at the end in our mythos that comes to bear. So it was really awesome to do. Very excited to see it out there in the world.
Nice. Gerald, I can't put your comment up, but hello. We love you. You're great. Even with your button fly jeans. You're great. That's a deep cut for those who know it. Deep cut. And next, Ed, are you actually here? Damn it, Ed. Don't do this to me, Ed.
You guys can see Ed. He's been dead for years. Whoa.
He's at the bottom. I'm just sitting there. All right. I'm going to do mine then since Ed's not there. Ed, you're making this stressful to me, Ed. I also know Ed, so he's probably losing his damn mind.
Well, he's gone.
I have Rumpelstiltskin. I have the King of Masiotic Castle, done by Chris Mad in Shayna Mad. They're coming back from their Wonderland adventures. Now, what's really cool about this particular one is I chose a character. I can't say its name because I don't want to accidentally be sued because role-playing games are nasty. But this character was created by H.P. Lovecraft. It is a frost Wendigo-looking monster that has a name in Cthulhu mythos, but I can't name it because it is not public domain yet. So I thought that would be a fun little thing to do in our Rumpelstiltskin, since it's all about names and things of that nature. So he goes on an adventure to name a name of something that can't be said because of public domain stuff. So we'll see how it all pans out. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
And next, we got Ed. Ed, are you there? Do you exist?
I'm here. Hopefully it'll stay. This wave in California keeps rolling us out and stupid rolling blackouts. My internet doesn't love them. So if it happens again, I will get in on my phone and just stick with it that way. So I'm adapting The Fisherman and His Wife, which is a Grimm's fairy tale where a wife is greedy and making wishes. So I connected it into the H.P. Lovecraft universe with every time the wife makes a wish, she begins to change. And because we're dealing with fish, I figured nothing better than bringing in the Deep Ones mythology. So we see a lot of the Deep Ones mythology, and we see kind of the metamorphosis of one of our characters becoming more and more into a Deep One until the end, as we can see, Cthulhu makes his appearance in the final part of the story. But when I adapted it, I actually came into this not knowing too much about Lovecraft. I had read plenty of Grimm's fairy tales, so I had to do my deep dive into Lovecraft, and I was listening to all these different Lovecraft stories when I was out on run. So kind of messing with your head as you're running in the dark and listening to H.P. Lovecraft stories. And when I listened to this one, I thought this is the perfect way to connect it because you already have fish and you have Deep Ones, and I brought in the same art team as the Immortal Era art team. So the Immortal Era art team came in, brought this story to life, and yeah, we get to see kind of the full Deep Ones at the end. And yeah, it was such a blast to write this story because I had been such a big reader of Grimm's fairy tales. I even teach some of those in my classroom. So to kind of be able to take it and twist it, and like you were saying earlier, you don't have to have a happy ending. It doesn't have to work out well. And in Lovecraft stories, it never does. So you're allowed to take it and really mess with things and leave your characters in an ugly place at the end, and it's okay.
Yeah, and I appreciate this whole team. Like I said, we have tons of different pledge levels. You can buy the old versions if you haven't got Oz, Wonderland, and Neverland. You know, this is our big event every year when we do these. You know, it's our fan favorite. People love it. Nominated for a Ringo, so you know, back it. I'm not even going to put myself on the list. We're gonna encourage you to back it, but I'm going to give you a little incentive to back it. Earlier, we talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it with some people. So we have an exclusive tonight. We have two exclusives. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. It's going to be boring content for some of you. I have this cover and I have this cover. I'll make myself big. This one has beautiful Neverland. 264 pages of beautiful Cthulhu Invading Neverland and all its goodness. Cullen Bunn, Rich Duack, all the great modern comic people are in here, myself included. I'm a great, don't tell anybody. Tom's in here. He wrote Spawn. I keep telling you guys that. But this one is going to go up right after this message, right up. It's going to be around the 350 mark. And what's cool about it is it has sketches. So anybody from now until it's time to ship it, I'm going to get sketches from them in this blank sketchbook. That's mine. I'm not an artist. We're going to do some stuff. As you see, some people aren't artists who do this. And some people are. Hold on. We're getting there. There you go. And some people are. So we're going to have a hodgepodge of this. As I go to cons and do things, this is going to be a sketchbook that you will own, a one-of-a-kind item. But wait, there's more. I'm going to get this as well for fairy tales, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So there'll be 2 different pledge levels, one with a Neverland cover and one with a fairy tales cover. So make sure you pick those up if that's something you're into. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know about you, but I think it's cool. Do you think it's cool, Ed?
It's amazing.
All right. Ed's in California, so it's very hard to impress those people. So
yeah, we need a lot more, but that is more, and I'm in.
Right. I mean, it's no drone show at Disney, but it's getting there. I understand.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the drone show at Comic-Con. You gotta move me. So
right.
I'm moved. That's fuck drone shows. That's what I need.
Right. Now I get it. I'm doing my best. And then the other one that we have, because we're going to go over everyone's campaign. We're going to go on this list thing, and I'm going to yell at people if they haven't backed what I promised, because you've embarrassed me in front of my friends. Silas and Jerry are making me a modern motion picture. Tom is going to get me Todd's number. Jack is going to show me how to write words. Brian didn't know this, but my first project in 2025 is a play. I'm doing lots of things. So all of this is super exciting. And don't fuck me up. Here, I'm going to make myself big. Don't fuck this up for me. You guys are in my zeitgeist, so you can fucking see this. So don't fuck this up. So make sure that I can mark their shit off my thing. Austin already left. He already said he was too big because he's got a show tomorrow. See, I've already lost one. Don't fuck this up. Jesus. Jerry, that's your fault. It's you.
It's dark. It's dark. Like, do you ever see Garfield without Garfield?
Oh, great one.
It's dark like that. It's dark in that way, you know?
Yeah, where John's just insane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody's actually here.
Yeah. We're all Ed. We're all not really here.
Yeah. I only come into this plane a little bit at a time. I can't fully materialize.
How's your image there? It's working great. It says Brian Wolf. Where is it? What's going on here? That is the worst drawn thing I've ever seen.
I can do better than that.
Well, if it's a snowstorm, it's perfect.
That's great. I got it all. Rabbit in a snowstorm.
What the hell's happening there? It's here. What the hell's going on? All right, let's try again. Let's fail.
He's getting so many backers that the screen can't refresh. The refresh rate can't keep up.
Crashed it.
Broke Kickstarter.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Kickstarter's down. Everybody, it's done.
That's it, dude. I've had so many problems with this campaign. I can't even describe it. But that's its own thing. Why the fuck are you opening up Paint? Hold on.
Can I ask a question while you're doing that? Or
Yeah.
should I not? Are you sure? Okay. Okay. Just out of curiosity, how many other theater kids do we have here tonight? I like, you keep popping up.
I did stage crew. Does that count?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Stage crew, lighting design, set design.
That just explains why you're doing reality shows now.
That's the whole thing.
That's true.
That all tracks, so you're fine.
You know, in Japan, stage crew were ninjas, so it's cool. It's cool.
What the fuck is going on here? All right, hold on. I gotta make Brian.
I have a general Cthulhu question, actually.
Sure.
For you guys. How show of hands, how many of you prior to knowing you were going to be writing for this anthology, or if you're in one of the previous ones, how many of you had actually read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft prior to that?
I'd read
I've
it.
read a lot of it.
I assume not including me who came up with this concept.
Yes, I would like to assume that you had some knowledge prior to coming up with this idea.
Squid
Yeah,
Face,
there's some
yeah,
great
I know
audio
him.
plays.
Yeah.
I don't think I read any. I tried. I couldn't get through it. I think listening to it was a lot easier. So it took listening to it, and yeah, for both of the stories, because I'm working on another one for the next fairy tale one. I had to listen to each one probably 10 times, but I'm out there running 2 hours at a time anyway, so I got nothing but time to kill.
Yeah.
I was asking because I was thinking about this earlier today, and when I know a lot of kids from when I was younger who had read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft when I was in high school and into college, and I didn't, and it made me wonder. I've always thought of myself as having been a really nerdy kid, and maybe I wasn't because I had never read any of this. Maybe I just wasn't cool. So in retrospect, I've retconned myself into a geeky kid, but I might have just not been a cool kid. Because I didn't every other geeky kid I knew that I was close with knows everything about these stories, and I still have not really read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft, so I just was curious. Anyway,
all right, hold on. I got a couple people leaving comments here. Look at all these cool 10 by 10 book would read. For that stuff. Jerry, did you play D&D?
No.
That's the secret. So
Conan the
D&D
Barbarian.
D&D. It's the gateway drug. You never took the gateway drug.
That's what it is. Okay.
And no D&D for me either. So I guess we were just the non-cool kids. We thought we were cooler than we were. And we didn't hit all the right notes. But
I completely retconned myself into like a geeky kid with geeky interests. I think I just wasn't cool. Yeah.
And Reanimator was my favorite movie for like 5 years as a kid. So.
Yeah, Reanimator is the one thing I had read of Lovecraft before this. I read all the Reanimator stories because I loved the movie. Even Bride of Reanimator, I'm like, all right, I can even go to bat for that one. And I read all that, and then I tried to read the other ones, and I was just like, all right, I'm a bit lost, and I must not be smart enough for this. So, I mean, once I finished my master's degree, I'm like, I'm not reading anything that makes me feel too much effort. I'm like, I don't want to have to work. I had to work for so damn long. I'm tired of that shit. So now just entertain me. Give me panels with bubbles, and that's all I need.
I love it.
I think the Cthulhu is 100% to D&D. D&D leads to Cthulhu. That's the gateway drug.
I guess I just didn't have that group of friends. I had a group of like athletic friends, and I was the least cool of those guys. But I don't think I was like I didn't have the group that was like into a thing until way later. So, anyway, all right, just curious.
All right, so we're gonna start marking people off the list. First, we're gonna talk about Steel Victory.
Yes.
Before we get to Steel Victory, right after this podcast, I'm gonna write an update to all our Cthulhu backers, and if you back both Steel Victory and Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales, you're gonna get this bad boy. Look at that print. 4x6 is going to be really nice. I'll show you one of the past ones we did. It's a little bigger on the past one we did, but same general concept. See, we did a Nightwolf one for Wonderland, so you're going to get that yourself. Brian's going to send it to you. Look at him. Look at that beautiful art. So you're going to get that. So if you back both, you're going to get that for nothing. It's just free stuff. And you get 2 comics. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You can't lose. So we're going to go to your thing. Brian, when we last talked, you were at 821 backers. I'm sorry, $821, 31 backers. We're going to see if anything has changed since then. Hopefully it does, and I don't have to yell at people, but I am willing to yell at people if I need to.
I've seen him do it. He will. It's not a bluff.
All right. So you have got 1 backer. I promised you that you'd be at 841 with 32 backers. But so I get my promise. So I get to mark you off my list. But I think we can do better, don't you?
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's get you off the list here.
I called on Cthulhu for you people.
Right. He called the great one. So I get to mark you off my thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring this thing up here. I have a question for you. Are you distributing this comics in comic book stores, libraries, or others, and sending book to backers when you're printed out and all that stuff? I think it's all each individually. Some of us are, some of us aren't. Some are in the process of it. I think that's the case. Unless someone has a different answer, that's Kickstarter first, and then it gets to distributors or other stuff later.
Yeah, I'm already working on trying to get my book in the library so I can try to nudge this one in there too.
Nice. But all right, so Steel Victory. Tell us about Steel Victory.
Oh, Steel Victory. Yeah, Steel Victory is imagine Power Rangers meet Sam Spade. It's the world after a Super Sentai story has long come and gone. 15 years later, the Red Champion is a private investigator, ends up having to investigate his own Blue Champion for a terrible crime that he may have committed. It sort of unearths buried secrets and does involve a couple of kaiju battles, and it's a fun action, but with character focused, because that's the way I like to go.
Nice. All right. It looks like you got another backer since we've been talking. So somebody out there is listening. Someone didn't want me to yell, so I like that. I appreciate that. But again, keep backing. Like I said, if you want that print, you got to back both. So
yeah, get both, and I'll make sure you get it along with the copy of my book.
Yeah. We could probably even meet up and sign it. I could probably sign it too. He lives close enough.
I live in Orlando. He lives, on the moon. It's fine. We'll meet up together.
All right, Jerry.
Yes, sir. I'm feeling good about this, Travis. I feel good.
Scott Snyder, let him know if things did not go. It wasn't him. He's very talented. I don't know what happened. I did not mean to let Scott Snyder down. But since you got Scott Snyder involved in this whole thing, we're going to figure it out. So Scott Snyder presents The Cloakroom.
Yes, sir.
Is a window that I shut, so I have to go find it again. Hold on 1 second. But we were at 3,000 and what was it? 70, 85?
Mm-hmm. 93, I think.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Let's see if we've made you any money here. All right. Don't fuck this up. Scott Snyder won't answer my calls if you guys fuck this up. He's on Absolute Batman. Maybe I could get like Absolute Ambush Bug. But no, we're good. We're good. All right. So first, get you off my list. And then we always try to do better. So tell us about these wonderful folks in the Cloakroom.
Cloakroom is an anthology project. It's all creators from Scott Snyder's writing class that he operates through his Substack. And so this issue, there are 6 new stories. They're all very different and different genres, and they're all fantastic in their own way. And so that's the short pitch. I'm the editor and publisher. I'll have a story, I think, in either one of the next 2 issues. I'll do one on my own. But this is the 2nd issue that we've done. The first issue is also available through this Kickstarter, as are the precursor to this project, which was called Tales from the Cloakroom, 2 larger volumes. So you can get up to 350 pages of anthology short comics, including one Eisner-nominated story from the first volume. But it's a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of really cool art. I've actually found a lot of artists through this process that I'm talking to about other projects of my own. So, it's a very cool little thing, and it's like about as indie as it gets. You're supporting a lot of first time creators getting their first little thing published in the world. So it's very cool.
It's got Scott Snyder's name on it. So I mean, it means something.
Name on it. Yeah. And he's into it. He gives story notes on a lot of the stories in it. We send him all the stories when he has time in between doing the 15 things that he's doing. He'll get back to us with feedback and stuff. But yeah, it's very cool. And we're all very excited about it and to keep it going.
Super cool.
So Beckett, show some support. Support new indie guys. Scott needs the money. He's broke. He's only got 12 options last year. Right now, he used to have 13 guys.
Yeah.
He used to have 13, and now he's down to 12.
That's a big hit. That's a big hit.
Big hit. Yeah, and it's only down to 12 because the other one got made. It's no longer options when it gets made. All right, what else do I got here? We've got. I put Ghost Street. Let's go to Ghost Street. All right, Jack. We've been friends a long time. I know your kids. I know your wife. I've outsold you at a table, and you got very sad. You sat near me and saw me sell at another con, and found out that I was a guest. Also made you sad because you fucking live in the state, and I had to travel. It's because you write words, Jack. You write words. So,
yep.
How your words were at $988 with 32 backers. Let's see how those words are doing now. Or did I shut your window? God damn it, I shut your window as well. Hold on. We'll find out in a minute.
We got your back, Jack.
Excellent.
Yeah, you guys should be cross-promoting.
These word guys, we got to stick together.
So you're at 33. So you got a backer. Well, you were at 31 when we started. You had a big jump right when we started. 33.
Yeah.
$7 from that from our thing. We're trying to get $7 so everybody gets a book. What book did they get at 1,000?
I need to look that up. I think it's actually a book from Russell Nolte.
Oh, all right.
Statistically,
he writes books.
He writes books.
He puts a lot of words in his things too.
Often he does. Mm-hmm.
You guys are out of control with your words. But yeah, we're trying. First stretch goal is at 1,000. We're so close. I'm going to share this out. Go ahead and tell us about God Street and about Mr. Creed.
So Will Creed was born and raised on God Street, a mystical road just outside our world where every god calls home. But Will's been in exile the last 11 years because he's destined to kill every god and destroy the street. He's been homeless, living in churches wherever we'll have him. And when someone comes up and says, "Hey, I'll give you 600 grand to save my son and steal the Concordance of Lost Souls that could rewrite fate," Will says, "You know what? The money's good, and stopping someone from breaking reality is even better. Let's do it." What could possibly go wrong?
It is kind of rude to, if he's a god staying in churches and living in other gods' houses, that's just rude.
Oh, geez.
There we go. Look at that.
Hey.
You got some love there.
Excellent.
Now you got to give them Russell's book, maybe.
Yep.
But we've got you some money, Jack.
We got the money.
I'm going to mark you off my list.
Go words.
I'm done with
words.
I'm done with words. You guys don't invest in the pretty pictures. Embarrassing.
All right. I got to call it as well. With 3 kids, it is time to take care of them. All
right. Good night, Jack.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Jack.
All right. Next up on my books of words, we've got Crux. Crux. That's what we're saying here? Crux?
Yes, indeed.
All right, Silas. You were at 1,131 with 23 backers when we started this shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
You had 11 days to go. You still have
I
to
think
back.
the 11 days is probably still the same at this point, but The other stuff might be different.
You still have to back one book.
Yes.
Because I just looked.
Yes. Yeah.
Doesn't have to be ours, but has to be someone. Don't back one with words though, like Tom and
only pictures.
Only picture. Find an art book in the art section. Go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You're just opposed to words.
But look at that. You had a
Yeah.
good night. You got to 26 backers. You're at 1,177. You're killing it over here. So tell other people why they should back this great book.
It does have words too, unfortunately. I apologize for that.
Okay.
To be fair, it's not only words, so that's something.
Rookie mistake, but that's fine.
But it's been a labor of love, right? I mean, me and the team that I've got have been, this has been so fun to do. One of the tiers, you get an original penciled page by Caesar. You get one of the first 6 pages actually penciled, which is cool. You can get a couple of cool variant covers. We've got some cool stuff in the rewards that I think you'll like. But yeah, I mean, it's a gnarly story. It's, at heart, it's just a revenge story, and it's going to get bloody and crazy. And, like it says in the story, if you like pulp, if you're, Parker 100 Bullets, if you're an Ed Brubaker guy, like, I think you're going to like Crux, and I might be a little biased, but I think you'll like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks fun. We're going to share it out. You said to get some other people. First,
Sweet.
Before we do that, though, I'm going to mark you off my list.
Love it.
And I will put you on blast within the next couple of days if I don't see that pledge, just so you know.
100%.
So be prepared.
I got you.
I'll go door to door like the goddamn Avon lady, Silas. I'm not scared. If it gets bad, I'll bring one of my boys and we'll be like a group of Mormons going, hey, you got to play from Crux.
Hey, man, Mormons are scary. They can be.
They're scary. Yeah.
They're scary. Maybe not quite as scary as Jehovah's Witnesses, but,
Yeah, I had Mormons riding alongside me on their bike when I was on a run. I'm like, I'm on a run. They're like, you can still talk.
Now is not the time to talk.
I turned up the biggest fucking hill I could find. I'm like, all right, ride your bike up this shit. Let's go. I mean, it was torture to myself, but they gave up after about a quarter of a mile. They're like, all right, sir, take this pamphlet.
They're going to start recruiting Lance Armstrong because of you, Ed. That's
Yeah, they're like, right, we need more powerful missionaries that can get up the big hills, because some of these people are jerks and they make us go uphill.
Well, I mean, they have Space Jesus, Ed. It's very important to pay attention. Like, Space Jesus is better than regular Jesus. My Jesus
you better
is
train those legs and get some cardio if you want to start Space Jesus on a run.
They get their own planet or whatever it is, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them, but you got to work.
We apologize for any Mormons we offended in this.
I offended people last night on Chuck's show, so I may as well keep the streak going.
How can you offend someone on Chuck's show? Chuck is more offensive than you are.
Oh no, when you get the two of us together, it gets messy.
It's bad. Okay, all right. So Tom is hugging his daughter. I didn't know his daughter was invited to this secret location of Olympics. Did you get your Neverland books yet? I know they're on their way.
No, but again, they're being forwarded from Phoenix, so it'll probably take a bit.
Undisclosed location. I understand.
Right. Fucking Canada.
I mean, I wouldn't talk about being in Canada. I mean, you should be in Canada. It is an election year. Everyone should be in Canada during an election year. I don't care what side you're on. Like, it's just safer.
Just saying.
I mean, you used to be able to come back on January 6th, and you can't even do that anymore.
Too soon.
Wait till February.
Right. All right. Omnihumans, with all those fancy words.
All the words.
Had $663.17 backers.
Okay.
We're going to see if people like things with words.
I
don't know if they
not.
do. We'll see if Tom does it. And hold on. Before I even check, I'm going to go back. He knows Todd McFarlane's email. He knows Eric's email. Don't fuck this up for me, guys. I may need those. I can already get Scott's email from Jerry, and because I pay him $7 a month. But I don't pay Todd or Eric at all. And I even read Eric's porn Mickey Mouse comic. It's very weird right now. I don't know what Eric's going through. It's weird. I love Eric Larson, but he's going through a phase. So don't mess this up. Please give Tom some money for his words. All right. Sorry about that, Tom.
Okay. Understand.
Things get weird. All right. So let's see if we get some money. Look at that. You got some money.
Did I get some money? Hey,
yeah, you got 2 backers.
Thank you. Much appreciated. That's awesome.
So you've got some people have backed the words.
You
want to tell them some of the words in order and why they should get all these words?
So yeah, this thing with all the words in it is about an ex-cop who has manic depression, and what his teammates don't know is after every shift he goes home and crushes mirrors with his bare hands to try to get some of his angst out, and then he gets tapped to start hunting down some superhumans like Marvel superhero characters like the X-Men type of thing, but he's just a regular guy as far as he knows. And then that goes really south, and he discovers things are a lot worse. There's a lot worse things in the world than worrying about superpowered mutants and whatnot. And that is episode 1.
Nice. I'll tell you what, Tom.
Tell me.
Tell you what. And you're going to have to push this. I haven't done it in a lot of years. You can get a book with words to 2K, which is very hard to do. You've done this before.
Yes.
I'll run a champions game with your highest backers.
Really?
I will. I'll run a 1-shot. So if you can get to $2,000, I'll run a 1-shot. I'll dust off those champions books, and I'll do a 1-shot. And you can't put it in yourself, Tom, just because you want to play champions. I know it's worth 1,000 something for you.
That was my whole plan. All right. I'll see if I can do it legit.
Very generous. You heard it here, folks. If you guys want to play, we'll take, I don't know, we'll have Tom play and probably 5 others. Yeah, we can probably handle that. I can do a 6-player game.
All right.
And we'll do a champions 1-shot. So spend a lot of money on Tom. Ask him to add stuff. Oh, see, it's going up ever since then. Like, look at that.
Oh, that did it. Here we go.
That inspired people. All right. Yeah, if we can get to $2,000, I will break out the old champions game and we'll play some champions.
Fucking A. Thank you, sir.
It's been a while. It's on the shelf. It's probably in the shelf in the garage, but we'll find it. We'll get it going. It's way easier to do World of Darkness stuff, guys, but we can do some champions.
Love it. Thank you.
All right. Let's get that up. All right. Ed, how are you, man?
I'm good.
San Diego Comic-Con was good for you?
It was, yeah. It was good. Always a good show.
Nice.
Hey, Ed, what kind of running do you do? What are you doing, like marathons or ultra or what?
Both.
Yeah. What's your longest distance?
48.
48 miles?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, he's super buff under the shirt. No,
I just stay healthy, but I'm not ripped. But that's okay. I'm married, so I don't need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like 25 years of marriage, I don't need to have a 6-pack. My wife's not going to boot me out.
Well, it'd be harder to boot you out if you had a 6-pack. I mean, you could take her.
You know what? She's got to catch me if she wants to hurt me, so I'll always be able to outrun her.
All right. So the Corruptor, it was at $2,112, 62 backers. I wanted to get to 63 backers. Let's see what has happened on the whole Corruptor side.
Let's see.
we have done it. We have got to that, and I think we can make more. I think more can be had, right?
I agree.
More money is good.
More money is good. That will help get us to Corruptor 3, because it's a wild one. Corruptors 3 and 4 are amazing. I mean, you always look at the next issue you wrote and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this. But Corruptor 2, it's a great story as well. It tells the story of Tony Scamparza, Mafia's most feared hitman, who gets a job he should have let go, but we find out that later on, we find out the reason he didn't let this job go, and this job leads to his death because he was tasked with killing his own sister and decided that he can't kill his sister, and the moment he let his sister live, he signed his own death notice. So he is then killed and immediately recruited by a demon from hell who tells him, here's your option. Recruit corrupt souls for us or burn forever in hell. And he chooses to corrupt souls. And while he's corrupting souls, he discovers that the afterlife is a much crazier place than he could have ever imagined. There's a marketplace where you can buy things for a portion of your soul. And there's also people that are hunting corruptors and trying to take them out. And if they get killed, they don't go to hell. They just kind of go into the void of nothingness. And he's now torn between the two sides. Heaven, who wants to use him to kill corruptors. Hell, who wants to make sure that they win the battle for souls. And Tony, all this while, is trying to see, is he redeemable enough? Does he have enough goodness inside of him to redeem his own soul before it's too late?
All questions need to be answered, and issue 2s are always the toughest, man. Like they're toughest on Kickstarter. I always find them the toughest to write because you had that great concept for 1, and then issue 2, you got to kind of expand on that and keep it interesting. But it sounds like you did. You added the angels in it and like all that stuff. So
I'm trying to keep it interesting, especially because with the Immortal Era, it's such a long series that there's a lot more wiggle room to play with. But when it's 4 series, you got to tighten up each issue and build big revelations. So issue 3 will have a huge revelation. We'll find out, why did Tony take that envelope with the job that he was warned against taking? And then issue 4 is going to be a wild one. But it's a crazy story, crazy stuff concept. It's fun to do when I need a break from writing Immortal Era, which is the everlasting story. I'll be writing it till I die. It's fun to write little side things.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so big. Again, 100% success rate, getting people backers, supporting people, doing that shit. We are done for this evening. We're going to talk a little bit about Cthulhu, but I'm going to let these guys go who aren't involved in Cthulhu, or even if you are in Cthulhu, if you want to take off, you're more than welcome. We're going to talk about
I got dinner waiting for me, and it's been a long day.
Well, I understand you've got to eat when you run 41 miles a day or whatever you just said. I don't understand running. I'm fat. I've read good things about it. I actually had to go to a foot doctor this week because my feet were hurting, and they said, "Here's a bill for $275. That's not covered on your insurance. Your feet are fine." It was very offensive. You may have some nerve problems. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
My feet aren't hurt. I just went for a walk. Me and my wife went on vacation, and like I feel like there's a quarter in my shoe, which is like a thing. And it goes away eventually, but it's been over a month. So I was like, I better get it checked out. And they're just like, you're fine. You can walk.
Okay. You're fine. Give it to me.
So, but all right, Ed, tell people where they can find you.
All right. You can go on to Kickstarter for Corruptors 1 and 2. If you want to check out some Immortal Era stuff, I do have that as an add-on. Also, Finish Line Comics, I have the web store. If you don't want to wait for this Kickstarter to end and you need your copy of Immortal Era right now, head over to Finish Line Comics and you can get all the issues there.
Nice. All right. Have a good one, Ed.
All right.
Anybody else got to go?
Yeah, I gotta take off too.
All right.
Dinner time.
Right, let's go with you, Silas.
Yeah, I mean, Crux #1 on Kickstarter. You can find me on Instagram at usually Silas. That's where I'm most present. And then also, if you want to check out one of the short films that I just did, that's on YouTube. The channel is Mass Upset Pictures. We got a couple of really good things on there, and then some old weird DC fan films that are not as good, but they're, yeah.
They're there.
They are there. They exist.
They exist.
All right, Joe. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Go.
Thanks, man.
All right, Jerry, you got to go.
Yes, sir. I'm going to head out.
Okay. Where can
Thank you,
people
sir.
find you?
You can find me. I am on the Twitter. I'm mostly on Instagram and Facebook at Thorny Comics. I'm the only Thorny Comics on either of those platforms, I believe. And the big one I'm pushing right now is my Substack, jerrycarida.substack.com. I'm doing all my comic stuff mostly through that.
Okay.
Cool.
Right.
Thank you, boys. I had a
All
good
right.
time. Love all your books. Fact, all of them tonight. So
Thank you.
lost a lot of money tonight, but I love you for it. I'm going to take it out of Scott Snyder's pocket.
Please borrow some of his option money.
I will. All right, take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Jerry.
Tom.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm usually, if sorry, I obviously need to go to bed, so I'm going to go do that. But I'm pretty much on just about every platform at Tom Levine. As long as you spell that last name right, I'm pretty much the only one out there. So you will run into me somewhere or other, whatever feels, whatever suits your needs.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. See you, Brian.
Bye.
See you, Travis.
Brian, you staying with me or taking off?
I can stay for a couple extra minutes, talk about
All
Cthulhu.
right. So we still have a lot of people watching, which I appreciate you guys watching. Again, Comic Creator Hangout is back. So as long as I'm live, it is back. So the next few Thursdays, we're going to be up here. We may even have a couple surprise shows. There may be one on Saturday. There may not be. There may be a couple other ones coming up. So it's going to be really wild. But we're going to go over the campaign one more time. Talk about it, how great it is. I'm going to show you again. If you back both Brian and my campaign, you get this kaiju right here fighting this Super Sen. What are they called?
There's a Super Sentai robot. It's called the Victory. It's the Steel Victory, the title of my book.
Now, does Steel Victory need all 5 to control it like a Power Ranger?
He does. Yeah, it's exactly the same, but it's a lot of fun. I
mean, they stole it from Voltron anyway, so you're fine.
Yeah, they are. It's a genre, not a not a specific lift. In this story, it's sort of tangential. This robot is rusting in San Francisco Bay at the beginning of my story. So it was Travis was like, hey, why don't you have him fighting Cthulhu? And I said, you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah, so we'll get that up. Like I said, we're gonna post that on the campaign. If you back both of us, you'll be able to get that print and help him get funded and get all that going. But let's go through. That's not it. Let's go through the campaign. Even though it's still beautiful. Look at it. It's got the car too, right? Is that the car in the book?
I like to throw in classic cars in my books. I like the look of them better than modern cars. So you'll see weird classic cars just all over my stuff, except for the Cthulhu book because it's in medieval Europe.
I mean, I do have the other script, which took place in modern times. If you'd like me to send it to him, you can draw it for him. I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
What are you working on right now? You said you're working on some stuff. Are you working on the stuff that you're doing, Sebastian, or are you working on your own stuff? What are you doing?
Yeah, I've actually got a number of opportunities. A couple of people have hit me up, and I've got some scripts I'm starting to do. I've got Gravesitter number 3 as well. 1 and 2 came out this year, and I was able to back it. I've got print for number 2 coming out should be coming to me next week or week and a half. Before Tampa Bay Comic-Con, which I'll be there, so you can come and find me, get a copy of those books.
Nice, that's nice.
Yeah, and you can, and I'll be on my Instagram and stuff, probably doing a lot of like sketch covers over the next few weeks. I just decided I need to kind of be visible doing that, and you can always hit me up for commissions. I have a commission list, but I don't promote it or anything. So yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, and you'll be on these shows. You're scheduled for a bunch of shows. So you'll see him in the next couple of months. But if you guys want a commission from him, just message in the group in the chat. Say, hey, I'd like commission. We'll make sure Brian gets a hold of you, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's see what we got here. Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tale. So this is the 4th volume in this beast of a book. Now, Brian, prior to a month ago, did you even know that Cthulhu invaded anything?
I did not. No, I'm. I feel like I just came into community of sort of Kickstarter indie creators, and it's been very warm and welcoming, and I'm just hitting the ground running and learning all about this stuff. So Travis gave me this amazing opportunity to draw some pages for him, and I'm really happy. It's an amazing project, and I'm thrilled to be part of it.
Yeah, and you said this is your first anthology, right?
Yeah, I did. I've done some small work here and there in the past. This is really the first time I'm really producing comics and getting out there. I've just been a stay-at-home dad for the last 6 years, and sort of interrupted my fledgling comic career there.
Nice.
Yeah, so now I'm really getting into it, and I got the chance to see a lot of the art from this book, and I tell you, it's humbling to be part of such an amazing group of artists.
Yeah, I'm super blessed to be able to work with the people who I work with, and we just do. These books are getting better and better, bigger and bigger. So I'm super excited about it, and this is a big event. So, a couple things if you guys don't know. So the first series, this one, Cthulhu Invades Oz, Wonderland, and Neverland, that was a ongoing story. So unlike a normal anthology, there's a beginning, middle, and end. So that's called the Cthulhu Invades trilogy. That's the first off. There is, because people have talked about this and they're confused, there is an ending that I'm working on. So it's the final. One of the coolest things about working in comics and working with this, I've collaborated with so many of these people, and I came up to the team and I said, hey, for the final, should we do it traditional like I've been doing? I kind of put it together, and I kind of pitch ideas to you guys, and then we all write it together. And they all said, no, this has been your baby. You should write the ending. So because I have so many other projects, I haven't written it yet. So we're working on it. That's going to be about a 60-page kind of epilogue that kind of ties everything up to that. This right here, Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales, is our newest trilogy. So this is a trilogy of 3 books. Each book will have different fairy tales stuff. In this book, we have Cinderella, we have Snow White, and they're kind of retelling of these tales in a Cthulhu mythos. We have Little Red Riding Hood, we have Rumpelstiltskin, we have Goldilocks, we have the Spider and the Fly, we have the Fisherman and his wife, we have the Ugly Duckling, we have The Boy Who Cried Wolf, we have the Lion and the Mouse, we have 3 Snake Leaves, we have Abio, which is a African folklore tale that's very famous in that community. We have 3 Billy Goats Gruff, we have Juniper Tree, we have the Tortoise and the Hare, we have the Elf and the Shoemaker, Puss in Boots, the Bridegroom, and the Owl, and of course, last but not least, the Pied Piper. So, I mean, these are some classics that you know, some classics that you don't. We have all sorts of cool swag, from metal bookmarks to boxes to the whole thing. So it's been really cool. These boxes are really cool. Let me show you a box for those who are watching. I got one right here that I was just working on. So this is a Neverland box. So if you got one, this would be very similar. Just you get Neverland, so you get Fairy Tale. So you get the book in there. You'd get some metal bookmarks. You throw some metal bookmarks. Throw some metal bookmarks in there. We would throw some metal prints. We would throw some magnets. We would throw some sign prints. A whole bunch of stuff. Oh, and what else? Hold on. Where is it? Some pins. I mean, you'll get all sorts of cool stuff, and then you'll get multiple copies of the books because you'll get all the covers. So if you're a collector and that's kind of your thing, it would be cool. And like I said, the box is cool. Look at it. Look at that box. Very cool. Inside. So, highly recommend it if that is your thing. So, all right, let's go here. But we are almost at 300 backers. So we're hoping to round up on that and get everything going. As you see, we just got that hardcover. Like, Brian, you were here on Monday when we launched, and you had the other cover. I would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
Like, it needed a little cleanup, but like I would have been happy with that. Like, the sketchiness was fine, and then he pulls off this. It's just wild.
Beautiful.
It's just wild. It's a beautiful cover. But as you see, that some of the art is in here, like he was saying, like some beautiful stuff, metal bookmarks. Here's the collector's box, all the stuff you get. So look at these. So lots of really cool stuff. So we're excited. And if you're into the Oz or you're into Wonderland, you never heard us before, you can get all the back issues here, as well as all the Orange Home books. These are all the books that I do. Brian, did you know I did so many books?
Wow. I have a lot of catching up to do.
So yeah, you've got a lot of catching up to do. So
I believe I can do it, though, but I need to be smart.
I believe in you. And for those who are in the Florida area, we are going to be at, not Brian, well, Brian may visit. And then I have used my Neverland box so much. Or is it Wonderland? Either way, I love mine. I just sent you the Neverland box. You may have used your Oz book. I don't know. Your Wonderland book. I don't know. But on Saturday, we will be at Famous Faces and Funnies from 4 to 8. Trying to get Brian to come out and at least hang out with us for a little bit. But we'll be signing Cthulhu Invades Neverland. So one of the things we do, you don't know this, Brian. Let me show you this. So on your book, so when you get this, and this will be true for Fearless as well, in the back, there is these spots, see? So there'll be a spot for Brian, and you can get Brian a spot. You can try to get all your signatures, get the whole thing signed. So we do that, which is pretty cool. So you don't damage the book, or you don't have 1,000 signatures on the front page. It has this nice little boxes built in right there for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, all right, we need 2 more backers to get us across that finish line. Like I said, the minute I log off here, I will do that update about Steel Victory, the crossover print, and about the wonderful thing. But Brian, thanks for hanging out with me, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's starting to rain here, so it's probably a good time to call it night.
Yeah, you're so close to funding, so we'll be back. I think, when is the next show that you are on?
I'm doing.
Oh, you're on tomorrow night with me for the Four Tales podcast.
Yeah, tomorrow. So I don't know those guys, so it'll be nice to meet them.
Yeah, and then we got a whole bunch of more coming. So all right, we got a whole bunch. So
yeah, I'll be out there. I love promote. I'm learning to promote. I love to promote, and I'm here to learn from the master.
Right, for the I wouldn't call me the master, but I have done it a time or two.
From the grizzled veteran.
From the grizzled veteran, yeah. Are you still live on the 22nd, or no? You're not.
I think I might be done. I have 11 days left, so there's probably a math thing that tells us what.
Hold on. I can tell you. No, you're gone on the 20th. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say the 22nd is a good show that you should watch. It's called Chat and Draw, and something like I'm pretty sure you're fast. Can you do your drawings live and fast?
Yeah.
He does an interview show, and he draws. He'll have guests on, and he'll draw their cover. So he'll draw like a Cthulhu piece while we're sitting there talking and doing stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, I should definitely watch that.
So if you're ever on his show, he would draw whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I had an idea to start something similar, so I'd like to see how that's done.
Yeah. Michael Watson is his name.
Okay. All right. Well, for you guys, I'm gonna sign off. You can find me at
we're gonna do the outro, so you're good. Tell people where to find you.
Yeah, find me at wolfcomics.net is my website. You can link to some of my previous work. I have a web comic up. You could find me on Instagram at Brian Thomas Wolf. You can reach out to me there if you want to get a commission. reach out to me at the Wolf Draws Comics at Gmail also for commissions. But follow, Steel Victory is just 11 days from being done, and I hope to just get a good number of copies out there. I think it needs to find its audience, and I hope you guys like it.
Yeah. All right. Let's do my video outro. I just sent the link, guys. Click the link. Go to Cthulhu. Back Cthulhu. Show it some much love. You know you love it. Stop pretending you don't. Bye.